going on, guys? Zach from D and Brock here, back with Gav, former team member, on to bigger and better things in California, killing it at events, topping left and right. Let's let him take it away. Get into it.
What's up, guys? First of all, shout out my sponsor, Top Choice Gaming. Also the best locals in SoCal by far. It's the most competitive scene, and there's just a shit ton of players in a really good community. I also want to shout out the homie Dominic Couch, also sponsored by TCG, who just top 16 the YCS over in Hartford, Connecticut. And, of course, my team members on my 3v3 that we won this event with on Sunday. So I got first place at a 3v3 with my team on Sunday, actually at the store, TCG. It was 114 players and 38 teams with 6 rounds of Swiss and 4 rounds of Top Cut.
This is the exact list you played there?
Yeah, this is the exact list I played at that event. And it'll be pretty much the same for Nats because my team and I will be going to Nats. Give or take hand trap ratio and the side will not be the same.
Naturally. All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's do the main deck. All right, we got 3 of Moye, my girlfriend. It's a pretty standard ratio for Swordsoul package. 3 of my boyfriend, Long Izzy. 2 of Taye. He looks like Torrent Scale, probably the coolest looking one, obviously. I play 2 Ecclesia. That's pretty... I mean, it's more standard as the format's evolving and more Swordsoul lists are topping. I never want to see this going first. It's pretty good going second, so I'm just playing 2.
Yeah, if I may cut in, I max out on it just because if you lose the die roll or if they make you go second, you want as many chances to open it as possible, but it definitely does brick, especially in multiples, and the fact that it's not a worm makes it even worse.
Yeah, I agree. I've gone back and forth testing. Like, that logic is why you would play the third one, literally just for that alone. But I feel like Swordsoul is so just good going second that I'd rather just play the 2 and rely on my Tenyi engine and hand traps than possibly brick myself going first. If that
the
makes
name is
sense.
pretty low on that one, huh?
What was that?
The name is pretty low on that one.
I can't hear you. What?
It looks like the name is wicked low on that.
Yeah, they're all forwards, so they all look a little different, you know. And then I play 3 Ashina, 3 Vishuddha, only 2 Adhara, without the Hauki Fibrax and Auroradon engine. You only need 2 of this. You're only going to resolve it twice, and if you really need to do it a third time, you can recycle itself, but that doesn't really come up too much. Then I play the 1 blue. I am playing Circle in this build, and even without Circle in your deck, I actually played Triple Vessel with this in the deck. There's really good plays. Like, if they live through your going first board, your blackout assumably has been used, and if you sequence your cards correctly, you will have follow-up in your hand, usually Taye. So you banish the blackout, run Separate Chain, trigger the blackout, get a second token, and at that point, you probably are going to want to dump the Ashina off your Taye dump when you synchro, and then use Ashina to get this. So it's just 2 level 8s for free for follow-up, regardless if you're using it for the circle play to dodge and permanent Veiler. For hand traps, I play triple Ash. Best hand trap in the format. You need it for Despia, like, it goes without saying. This is another weird card I'm playing. Nib is not popular right now, but as the format's evolving, Despia... I mean, obviously Despia is one of the best decks. The Hartford YCS speaks for itself. But with all the synchro punk decks coming out, this deck, the Mirror, becoming even more popular, I just decided to kind of sneak this in for the 3v3. I only got to use it twice, but it was broken. Like, if you open up kind of subpar, like a imperm on the Moye ending your turn type of deal, having this in your hand is fucking crazy, because you just sit there with a Moye and whatever, they build your board to kill you, and you give them a rock. No one ever saw this game 1.
Did you ever brick it, though?
I didn't brick with it, no.
All right.
But, like, yeah, even going first, I like it for that reasoning. If my play gets stopped, like...
Yeah, they're never expecting it, game 1.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if, like, I have just Shisha Blackout pass. Like, this is just broken because you're losing your Shisha anyway, and we always have follow-up in this deck. 2 DD Crow instead of the 3. Despia is not as heavily played as it was, but I am keeping it in just for the Despia interactions. I might even go back to 3 for main deck. Also, Scythe is back in the format again with the stupid-ass Hauki Fibrax TG Wonder Magician combo.
Yep.
So we want to still have Scythe House in our deck. play the one Veiler. This was going to be between Ghost Bell and Ghost Mortar in this. I like having the nice one-up tuner hand traps to search off my Chow Funky. And I decided on this one because Ghost Mortar and Ghost Bell are both completely dead against the Flunder deck, as well as a couple other decks. So I'd rather just have this that's kind of universally really strong. For the spells, I also play Imperm, but I'll get to that in the traps.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah, Imperm Asher hard mandatory in my opinion in this format. I play 3 Emergence, 3 Circle. This card's fucking insane. I changed my mind about this card after the ban list. So if you're going second into a Despia board, for example, and you're threatening Tenyi plays or even your your normal summon, they're gonna want to Mirror Jade that, especially if you're Bashuting. So they dump for cost with the Mirror Jade. Obviously Mirror Jade does not target. You chain this, tributing whatever they're trying to banish. They have no choice but to banish one of their own cards because it does not target and there's nothing else.
Okay, so the ruling doesn't act as when it resolves, your guy comes out and then they can banish that guy. They have to choose because it doesn't target.
You're never summoning off of this. You're always adding off this.
All right, you're adding, yeah.
Let's say I start with the Shuda. They chain Mirror Jade. I tribute for cost. Add whatever I want, a Shuna or Long One. There's nothing
on resolution. They have to banish something on the field, and there's nothing else.
Right.
Yeah, got it.
Correct. And then I play 3 Vessel. Hold on, just to add on to this, the same logic works for the mirror. Like you summon out something and they try to trigger the Sinister, the banish. It just fizzles. That card's nice, and we don't have to banish our own stuff though, thankfully. 2 Vessel. This card's fucking nuts. If you open a Tenyi in this, it's full combo. This deck is a little worse against Ash if you're committing to the Vessel part of the deck, but it's too broken not to play because, we always open Tenyis, this, and then, Swordsoul cards. I think Droplet is mandatory in the main, and some people are choosing not to play it in their Swordsoul list. Again, there's sites running around. You need as many outs as possible. This is generically insane. The shit's on Despia, whatever they bring out off of Brandon and Red. If you don't have the out for it, I would not cut this. Also, I think Chalice is horrible in the mirror. The last thing I want to do is boost a fucking Chi-Shao for no reason. Because that implies that I have to out it with Baxia, because not even my Baron can get over it. So this card all the way.
Yeah, I fucking need it, man. Just can't at this moment. But
not Chi-Shao, sorry. Fucking Chalice. Chalice is dookie in this deck. It's I'm not a fan. I play 2 Desires because it's a God card.
Those ultis?
Those are ultis.
You can barely tell, but...
Bling bling, baby. I was playing CRs, but they just looked like secrets, so I was like, no, give me some ultis, co. And then I play the one of... this is insane going first or second, especially against Brandon Despia. They activate Brandon in red, targeting whatever. Chain call by. So that was...
DD Crow as well.
Yeah, same with the Crow. It's just a Crow... it's like another Crow that just also gives... It's like a condom. A Crow that with the condom effect to it. And then there's the triple Imperm.
Standard.
This card's way too valuable to not play. Ash and Imperm, you gotta play it at 3 in my opinion. And I play 1 Blackout. It used to be the best card in the deck. Now with Despia, I don't think it is anymore, but you gotta play it. Card's busted.
I mean, you're not gonna play only Despia, and it's definitely good against everything else.
It is, but I don't know. With half my matches being Despia, it comes up that I'm siding this out all the time.
If you know you're playing against Despia, will you search something else?
If I'm playing against Despia, I've either sided this out already, or I'm going to search something else, yeah. Between the protection effect from Branded Opening and Chimera's non-target effect, this card does not resolve too much, or not enough in a meaningful way against Despia, unless you're just trying to clear their board of fusion targets to not let them make what they are trying to make with their poly or what have you. But yeah, the banish to produce a token is way more relevant, I think, with my play style and how the format is now than the pop effect.
All right, how many in the main?
This is 45 cards in the main.
45.
Might be cutting. Yeah, 45. I may be cutting the nib. I am not sure yet, but a lot of with the Therion and adventure stuff still going around, the nib is not good against those decks without like an Imperm or a Veiler or something paired with it. So I think breaking the Therion and adventure boards is easier than hand trapping them, or specifically using the Bureau. So the nib and DD Pro ratios will probably be adjusted.
All right. Let's get into the extra.
All Alrighty. My bad. I'm fucking word vomiting. If you have any questions, just feel free to stop me.
I'm trying to cut in, but you couldn't hear me, so now I don't want to make it fucking awkward. But
no, by all means, dog. Just let me know. 3 monk. Not a lot of people are doing this, but it actually came up in 2 of my matches in the 3v3. I would have lost one of my matches if I didn't play the third monk.
Yeah, after the hits, like, you have to play 3. You actually have room now.
I like the third monk, and I'm going to continue playing 3 monk. I did not regret it, but a lot of people are just not playing the third monk and just playing an extra 8 or something, or playing those really spicy. For the mirror, people are playing Lina, like the light charmer, and that card's busted because you can steal their Baxtia, reborn something with the Baxtia, or steal their Shishao and do something else. But
yeah, it's pretty
the
crazy.
Lina stealing the Baxtia actually comes up a lot. Play one of this. You need to play this now, especially without the Hulk and Auroradon package. This is way better. Like, if you're grinding and, like, you just bring out something annoying like a Changing or another Shishao that your opponent had to out, it's pretty impressive and just puts on pressure. Also, the line of play where you special a Tenyi, normal summon Moye, gets negated, then make this reborn Taie out of your hand, or dump the Taie out of your hand and reborn it, that's still relevant. And then I'll get to the Synchros, 1 Yazi, 1 Boral Sword Tenyi. I played 2 of this. 3 of this is popular. My other 3v3
I haven't seen that yet, but he was running 3.
Yeah, because how he combos, like, he'll be greedy with the Moye draw, and he'll resolve Baxia twice. Turn 1. One of them to make the Chow Fang, and the second one to just reborn the Moye and make a Shishao and get the draw. I'm not down to do that. I'm not down.
Yeah, it's pretty ballsy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
But it seemed to work out for him.
Played 2 Shishao.
You can't tell they're Starlight.
Yeah, they are Starlight. You can't really tell, but promise they're Starlight. I play the 1 Chow Funky. That's really good right now in the mirror and against Despia because they're Lebellion and their best fusions are light. Also, the theory on ABC stuff, this shits on them too. That's it for the 8s and 9s. For the 10s, I play 1 Shengying, 1 Sinister. Going first, at least as of right now, the way the format is. You always want to make this with your Shishao and draw 2 cards, going blind first. Obviously after side cards aren't involved, it's a lot more realistic to make a Baron most of the time, depending on how you're reading the game state. But in general, you want to definitely make this first.
Yeah, I was asking you earlier what spell cards it's good against. Would you mind going over that again?
Oh, yeah. So anything with Adventure Engine, which is coming back into the format with, like, Punk Theory on it, which does play adventure stuff. Like, they go Faithful, you banish, the adventure stuff stops. Hitting the branded and loss, like, that's, you obviously have to do that so you can negate their branded fusion and their Lebellion and what have you, as well as the polymerization, so you can actually target whatever they bring out, or target the Chimera with your Chichao or your Blackout or whatever. But you don't really want to be banishing the polymerization unless they haven't used branded loss. Which if they have branded loss, they're going to use that before the poly, so you can't respond. So
yep.
Either way, Gucci. Play 1 Baron, Euro print English, by the way. It goes without saying. And then I play this new card from Daifo, Psychic End Punisher.
Did you make it?
So I've never made this card.
Yeah, I want to get one. It seems really spicy.
So the most realistic time you would be making this is to close out games. Like, if you already have a Shishao on the field in a simplified game state, and you summon Ash Blossom, and use your Shishao and Ash to go into this. This guy basically gains attack between the difference of you and your opponent's life points, and while your opponent has more life than you, this guy's unaffected by card effects. But either way, you can still get the gain, even if yours is less. So it's usually, if you're summoning this, like, hypothetically, like in testing on Dueling Book, I've made it like it's game when it comes out. You're just killing with this, but it's just something I'm trying. I was trying out Destrudo in the main deck to help facilitate plays like this. So if I really wanted to, I could make a Shishao or Baxia, and then before I'm locked into Worms, drop the Destrudo on something, and then synchro into it with Shishao on this.
Have you considered Crimson Blader?
Yeah, Crimson Blader would take the spot of the third monk or this. I just feel like the thing with Crimson Blader, if you're making that, you're probably in a winning game state already.
Oh, yeah, because if you're making that, you're trying to stop them from making their plays, but it's like if you can just kill them before they even do it.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, I feel like it's kind of win more, and you don't really need the Crimson Blader, but I know some people are partying with that card.
Because even if you do it in like a simplified game state where you have an opportunity to make a synchro, you can just make a Baxia, spend 2 of their cards, and possibly attack over something else. Like, it just seems like unnecessary.
Yeah, like, whenever any of my homies who play Swordsoul, we talk about, like, extra deck choices, and they bring up Crimson Blader, that's pretty much my thought process, is I'd rather just Baxia their shit and reborn something and fucking kill them than,
right.
Crimson Blader.
Let's get into the side.
Do the side. Oh, yeah, I'll go over my record at the end.
Yep.
My personal record, because it was a 3v3 team event. 3 anti-spell, generically good for everything, yeah. 3D barrier, Despia, and the mirror. Like, it doesn't really matter if you have a board full of synchros and negate yourself. Like, the fuck is your opponent going to do?
Yeah, you have monsters and they don't. Yeah, GG.
Yeah, like, you make a token or threaten at 8 with Adhara and level 7 Tenyi, like, whatever, do this. 3 of this card got a lot better. I put it back in, clearing literally anything. The Therion stuff, the Sun Avalon shit. The Sun Avalon deck makes a huge board. And the mirror is good. It's just generically really strong against everything right now. Reboot, I always side this in going second no matter what, even if it's not a trap deck, just because everyone's siding.
Side cards.
Yeah, I just need the out for barrier. And
did you draw it at all during the event?
I outed 1 barrier with this in the event.
Well, that's all you need then.
But it is a one of, so that doesn't come up too much. But when it does, and it feels nice. 2 Twin Twizzy and a Duster. I wish I could have fit the 3rd Twister, but with how my side is, I had to kind of compromise. I'm choosing Twister over Cyclone because decks like Prank Kids, or not Prank Kids, sorry. I mean, the logic does apply to Prank Kids, actually, but more so for Flunder, an actual good deck that still exists is, their Dreaming Town can only activate in the main phase, and they're not just going to set the Dreaming Town, they're going to set bluffs. So in the draw phase, you want to clear out everything and guarantee that the bluff is gone, as well as the Dreaming Town, or worst case scenario, get rid of their stupid ass fucking field spell in the Dreaming Town.
So you're not afraid of the Eldritch matchup, the trap cards?
The reboot evenly, and these 3 cards deal with the Eldritch matchup well enough, I think, as well as the Tenyis, just out naturally clearing boards. I don't think I would have to put in anything extra for trap decks other than maybe a 3rd Twin Twister. And then the last 2, just because I really wanted to play Droll, but my side deck count was kind of awkward. This is insane against the Punk Therion deck. This is insane against Flunder. This auto beats Flunder. It shits on Despia as well. Everyone's playing obviously Patchworks and Allure of Darknesses. This is really good. I think I might need to get this to 3 somehow on my side deck for the future, though.
Yeah, I saw somebody from YCS Hartford talking about how they wish they played Droll and how all the top 32 players were main decking Droll. So
Yeah, maining Droll and Mystic Mine was the goo for the YCS event this past week. But I think for sure I'm going to put Droll to 3 in any serious event I'm playing. As far as my personal record went,
yeah. Hey, before you do that, can you quickly explain the way 3v3 works for people who don't know?
All right, so 3v3s is exactly how it sounds. There's 3 people on a team. You sit across, your 3 opponents, and the first team to win 2 of their 3 matches wins the game, or wins the match, I should say. And the rounds are 50 minutes. So hypothetically, I didn't have to win every single match, and as long as the other 2 team members were carrying their weight, and vice versa, we were good.
Okay, so what was your personal record?
My personal record, out of the 6 rounds of Swiss, I was X2. I lost with a hand that was 2DD Crow, 2 Imperm, and a Nib. That was the only time I lost, and I lost in a similar situation other than that. Thankfully, when I lost my CC, because I was AC, my CC won, and when he lost, I won.
Okay, so good. Yeah, picking up the homie.
What was that?
Picking up the homie when you lose and vice versa.
Exactly. And then my middle seat, he was also playing Swordsoul. He went X1. His only loss was to Flunder getting shifted. And in Top Cut, all 3 of us actually went undefeated, and none of us lost a match. Even when 2 of us won, we were just kind of ignorant, and we're like, nah, we're finishing the third one just to say we didn't lose.
So what did you guys win?
The 3v3 was for a full case of Dimensional Force, the Therion set.
Did you pull any Starlights or?
We split the case and turned it in for cash, basically, at the store.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I'd rather just get guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed cash. Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you want to say before the end of it, or?
Unless you have any questions, no. Shout out again my team, all the people that test with me to make me not suck ass at the game. This deck profile or this deck list is going to be on Slim YGO's channel in the next week, more than likely. Shout out him and make sure to check the video over there, and obviously shout out to Uzak and Team Brock for having me on the channel.
Appreciate you, bro, always. All right, hopefully we'll get you next time with another top.
For sure. Thanks, bro.
All right, later, bro.